Hello, and welcome to this video tutorial on the Total 2D camera for Gamemaker Studio 2. In this video, we're going to be learning how to set up a professional looking camera system for your Gamemaker game. And I'm going to assume that you already have a character or object with movement functions, and you're just looking for a versatile camera system to follow him around. In this video, we're going to be going over setting up a camera and view, smooth object following, smooth cycle or mouse scroll zooming, locking the camera view so that it doesn't leave the room boundaries, and we're going to be doing a screen shake as a bonus. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let me delete this stuff. We'll start over from scratch. So this camera works for platformer or top-down games. Will work all the same the way we set it up. So let's go ahead and create an object. We'll call it OBJ camera. OBJ camera. There we go. And let me check my notes real quick. Alright, we do not need a sprite, and we don't need to change anything else. Actually, before we get started on the camera, let's go ahead and set up our room properties. So the only thing we'll need to change in our room is under viewports and cameras. We're going to make sure enable viewports is checked. Come here to viewport 0 and check visible. And you can go ahead and set the width and height of your camera if you would like. Go back to our object, and in the create event we're going to initialize the variables. First, we're going to create a blank camera and assign global variables. So we're going to assign it a global variable so we can access it from other locations. We're going to use the camera create view code. X and Y can be 0. And go ahead and set up the whatever the initial starting width and height of your view is. So mine is going to be 1260 by 720. And then we're just going to default the rest of these to what the default is. And that should be it. Next, we're going to assign the camera to a view. So we're going to assign this to view 0, which we set up over here in the room properties. View set camera. There we go. We're going to declare the object to follow. In this case, it's going to be object player for me. Then we're going to initialize some variables to update the location of the followed object. I'll explain these later. Let's move. And this stuff will start to make sense later. For now, you could just follow along as I'm doing. Okay, we're going to find the width and height of the camera as we initially set it. Equals camera get view width global.camera. Once we have the original width and height of the camera, we're going to get the half of that. Next, we're going to set the zoom. So zoom is going to start out at 100%. This will be the actual zoom level of the camera, which we want to differentiate from the move zoom. The move zoom is going to be the zoom to move to. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the move zoom, and then we're going to set a zoom speed. And it's going to move to the move zoom at this speed. The zoom will be the actual zoom of the camera. Next will be our variables for camera shake. And at the end, we're going to go over this. These will be accessed through our object for Screenshake. So. And that should do it for our variables in our create event. Next, we're going to slide on over to the step event. And up here we're going to write, we're going to check if our object we're following exists. If it does not, we're going to exit. And the order I'm doing these in is the order you should keep these in because the way that the code needs to work. So it may seem a little bit out of order, but it's going to all make sense once it comes together. So we're going to update the destination. And this seems a little bit redundant, but for some reason that's how I have it set up, and it seems to work fine. So I'm just going to leave it for now. Okay, so we're updating the destination where we want to go to. So the X move is going to be the X move, and Y move will be the X and Y coordinates of our character or whatever object you're following. So that will be our X and Y move. We're going to use those to tween the movement smoothly. add this equals x minus x So we're going to add our x move minus x divided by 25. So when our x move minus x, so when our x move is equal to our x location, this will be 0 and it's going to stop our movement. Until then, we're going to divide it by 25, which is going to give us a nice slow, steady move into our object. So the closer it reaches our object, the slower it's going to move. Okay, next we're going to tween the zoom smoothly. So this is going to, when we move to a zoom level, in the same way we move to the location of our object, it's going to smoothly zoom in and out in the same way. There we go. Then we'll do the actual zoom in here. So we're going to set the view size of the camera. So our original size of our camera times the zoom level. So whatever our zoom level is going to be, say if it's 200%, we're just going to multiply that, and it's going to zoom out to 200% by setting the view size. Next, we're going to update the view half of the camera. Alright, so we're getting, again, we've updated the camera size, so now we're going to get the half of that so that we can apply it to the clamp. Okay, so after we've done that, we're going to keep the camera from leaving the room. X equals clamp. Do similar method for Y. So basically, without trying to explain too much, this is just going to keep the view and camera from leaving the edges of the room, so you don't see anywhere outside of the room. after we've done all that, we're going to update the camera, the actual camera position, given all of this new information. So camera set update the camera position, and then we're going to do the actual input method for the zooming. So first we want to do the mouse wheel zoom, and we're going to update the move zoom clamp. Mouse times 0.1. This will be the speed, I believe. Then minimum and maximum. And that looks good. So that's our mouse zooming. Now we're going to do the switch between zooms. So this is going to be cycling through our zooms. So we're going to do 100% zoom level, then 130% zoom level, and then 200% zoom level. So I'll go ahead and do that. Use the tab button. And we're going to use a switch statement. So at 100%, we're going to set our zoom level to 130%. If we're at 1.3, we want to set our zoom level to 200%. And if we're at 200%, we're going to go back to 1. Alright, so if we're not at a specified zoom level, if we've used the what's that button in here? Oh. If we've used the mouse wheel scroll and we're not at one of these zoom levels, we're going to go back to 1. So if it's not one of these zoom levels, go back to 100%. And that should do it for the camera. Let's drop our camera in the room and test it out. can see the smooth camera movement, and I'm using the mouse wheel scrolling. And the tab. So you hit tab for the cycled zoom. That's how it works. See what the problem was. Alright, you see how it's not centered on the character. That's because let's go in here to sprites. Alright, so the origin is down here at the bottom. So what I want to do is, I'm just going to do a -75. See how that looks. Okay, now the camera is more centered on our character. There we go. Alright, now for the last thing we're going to do is a screen shake. So you can play this, you can add this any way you want. I'm just going to do left press button is going to create an instance create layer, XY coordinates, object screen shake. So I'm going to create a new object. Call it object screen shake. And there, create event. Put on the shake. So we're going to shake for 20 frames. And our step event. We're just going to do copy paste this code. Object camera shake X, or we could do global camera. Since we did set our global variable. Random range -300 to 300. So positive is going to do X and Y coordinates 300 300 randomly to shake our camera. Next, in the alarm 0, we're going to return to a normal camera. We're going to destroy the screen shake object, and we're going to set shake X, shake Y back to 0. That way it's not continuing to shake. So we've created shake X, shake Y. We're just going to add those here to update the destination. Something weird's happening there. Let me just put object camera. So there we go. This is a nice screen shake. So explosions, punches, whatever you want to do. Alright, that concludes this session of the camera tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot. Please let me know what you think. Please, if you have any suggestions or comments or questions, leave them below. Give me a thumbs up and a like. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this, and have a good night. In my next video, I'll be going over how to set up a surface which is bound and moves with the camera. These video tutorials are part of an asset I've created on the Yo-Yo Games Marketplace store called Performance Lighting and Camera. Link in the description. Thank you for watching.